Gamecocks looking to get back to 500 this Saturday against Mississippi State. Locked On Gamecock Podcast host Andrew Lyon back with us. Andrew, USC put up a good fight against the top-ranked team in the country, right? But Shane Beamer said it after the game. There's no moral victories. The reality is this team is 1-2, and let's talk about that offense. Spencer Rattler is doing his part tremendously right now, right? He leads the SEC in completions and is third in passing yards. But for me, Andrew, the Gamecocks, they got to get things going on the ground. The team they're playing Saturday ranks dead last in pretty much every offensive statistic in the SEC except rushing yards, because the Gamecocks have that spot locked down. Just 159 total rushing yards this season for Carolina. Is the offense where you thought it would be through 3 games? And if not, what do you think needs to change?
Not quite, Chandler. I would obviously say that the passing game is going quite well right now, considering the circumstances, considering the growing pains that this offensive line has gone through in terms of pass protection. The fact that Juice Wells has not been 100% at all during this season so far. Spencer Rattler, he's playing out of his mind, but you're absolutely right. The Gamecocks have got to find a way to get this run game jump started. And so, in my opinion, honestly, Chandler, starting in this next game, I think you need to see a guy like Mario Anderson Jr. maybe get some more snaps at running back. Obviously, I'm not trying to say he needs to take that starting job, but maybe just try to split the load up between him and DeCarron Joyner, kind of see how he handles maybe a bigger volume of workload there. And also, Chandler, I think it'd be fair to possibly put in a package or two for Lenore Sellers. I know that some Gamecock fans out there might not want to see him go out there because obviously they think that he could be the future of this program at the quarterback position. And so you don't want to see a kid get hurt potentially. But Lenore Sellers is just such a good athlete for his size that I think at some point you got to maybe at least create a wildcat package, throw some plays in the playbook for him, and just see if he can help this offense get going, because either way, it would both help this offense and also Spencer Rattler by giving him more of a run game to where it can set up the passing game and make life a bit easier for number 7 back there in the pocket.
Yeah, and that is certainly an important thing, Andrew. And you mentioned Lenore. He, of course, had those big plays against Furman. And one of the things I would also like to see them maybe incorporate is a little bit more of DeCarrion out the Wildcat. We saw that on that touchdown run against Georgia. But, yeah, just try to do different things to get this run game started, because, like you said, it's just it hasn't been great so far. And maybe even putting Mario in would help as well. But let's shift gears to the defense now. And if you're looking at the numbers, Andrew, things don't look good for Clayton White's unit right now. They're next to last in the SEC in pass defense, rush defense, and points allowed. But for me, I don't think they've been that bad, especially given the injuries and the level of competition. I mean, we're talking about 2 top 25 teams, one being the national champs, who they did hold to a season low in points. So what are your thoughts on Carolina's defense, and what are you hoping to see from them against the Bulldogs?
Chandler, I think this defense has done all right considering the circumstances, so I'm right there with you on that front. Obviously, North Carolina, Drake May's a great quarterback, had a really good scheme cooked up for that game. And then Georgia, we all know the talent that they possess, both in the trenches and also at the skill positions. But Chandler, for me, I want to see this Gamecock defense be a bit more aggressive. And I think the reason why we maybe have not seen that consistently this season is because, as Shane Beamer mentioned during his Tuesday press conference, you know, they want some of that depth at some of those positions to come along. They want to see some guys step up at the edge position. They want to see some of that depth come along at the linebacker spot and also in the defensive backfield. And I think that when you're still waiting for that depth to come along and maybe progress in terms of their development, I think that in a way might be handicapping Clayton White, admittedly, in terms of his willingness to be aggressive and take more chances, put some guys in some one-on-one situations. And so I think that it's all going to depend on, honestly, what they do on the practice field the next couple of weeks. But this Mississippi State game is a big game in terms of trying to get some of those backups out there. Mississippi State, as you mentioned, they're a team that has had their struggles so far offensively. So if you're going to get some of those backups, so much need experience, as Shane Beamer also alluded to at his Tuesday presser, this is going to be one of those games where you're going to have a great opportunity to do just that, and therefore have those guys develop and be able to help you a bit more down the road in this season.
Yeah, you mentioned the young guys. I mean, for me, it's kind of tough, right, to be a young guy and to be thrusted into a big-time SEC matchup and to be aggressive in that sense. So, yeah, we'll certainly see, and let's hope this is a get-back game for Carolina this weekend. Andrew, as always, thanks for joining us.